So, a few months ago, I told you that my channel was dying. My channel is actually literally dying. So, is that still the case? Is my channel still dying? What did I do to fix it if it's fixed? Where do we stand today? I'm going to talk all about it. We're going to look at my channel, see what's going on, and I'm going to tell you what worked, what didn't work, and what I'm doing now. So, long story short, my channel has come back to life, and I'm so excited. And I definitely did some things to like make this happen and, whatever else, and we'll talk about that. But let's dive first into my analytics. So I want to toggle to the last 90 days to give you a really good picture. However, I want you to look at this number here. My estimated revenue in the last 28 days, and I'm recording this on March 7th, is $10,000 just from YouTube AdSense. I have never made that much money from YouTube AdSense. The most I've ever made is right around $4,000. So that should tell you a lot. Now, what'll give you an even better picture is I actually filmed the My Channel is Dying video 7 months ago. And it has taken me a while to kind of rectify and figure things out and understand what I needed to be doing and blah, blah, blah. So we're really just going to look at the last 90 days. Actually, let's just back all the way out to the last 365 days because you're going to see something crazy here. Right around here in August of 2021 is when I filmed and released the My Channel is Dying video. And you can see that like pretty well things were steady. This is views, so everything else kind of correlates. Like if we go to subscribers, it's kind of the same thing. If we go to money, it's kind of the same thing. So everything is kind of steady. And when I recorded that in like August, or actually July, sorry. So when I put that out in July, you can see that there's not really much happening before or after. But then here in October, we start to see things kind of pick up a little. And there's like this little spike on my channel, and then it kind of goes back down. And then we have a massive spike in January of this year. And then this huge spike that's happening right now. January is always a bigger month for most people here on YouTube who teach YouTube strategy, who teach business strategy, because January is kind of a month when people are like, oh, I should probably start that YouTube channel I've been talking about, or I should probably start that business, right? So January is always a bigger month for me. So you can look at January of 2021 here, and I had a spike where I got like 8,000 to 10,000 views per day. And then it started coming down, and that's when we like go into the year that you've already seen in My Channel is Dying video. So if we compare that like 8,000 to 9,000 views per day to this past January, it was about the same, 8,000 to 9,000 views, nothing crazy. And then it dips back down. But then something happened in February, and you can see this massive shift upwards. Now, what's really cool about this shift that we're seeing is that it has raised the baseline for me. So whereas the baseline was down here, I was getting, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views per day before all of this. Now, even though this big spike has kind of ended and everything's leveling back out, because that will always happen, I'm getting more like 6, 7, 5,000 views per day. And so my baseline has now moved up, which is what we want after these kind of big spikes. So let's look at money, because this one's a fun one. So if you look here, my average before the spike in January was like $35, $40, $50 a day. And then we have our spike in January where I was earning like $100, $105, $130 a day. Goes back down in that 50s. And then we have a day where in one day alone, my channel earned $682.43 in February. And like I say, if we back out, I made $10,000 in the last 28 days just on YouTube AdSense. If I go to January, let me show you what I made in January, $2,700. If we go to December of last year, I made $1,300. And that was kind of what I made most of the year, like between $1,000 and $1,300 a month just from YouTube AdSense. Remember that that's a very, very small slice of the pie for me, because my business is actually what makes the money, but I'll never like turn down making money in this way, I mean, why not? So that was kind of my normal. And then, like I say, in January, it went up to 27. In February, that's when I had the big month, which was over 9,000. And then in March, and we're only like 7 days into March, I've already made $1,000. So one other thing I want to look at here, and this is the views per video. So we're going to look at kind of where I was before this big spike and then what happened. So we'll go down to December 1st, and this video in its lifetime has gotten not quite 3,000 views. This one got 11,000, and then 5,000, 3,000, 1,800, 1,500, 1,600. And I will say that, like, because I know my numbers during this time period, so during like that November, December time period, a normal video, if I would upload it within the first week of it living on the channel, it would get around 1,000 views. And then of course, if it got picked up or something, it would get a little more. But around 1,000 was that like first week viewpoint. Then you can start to see a couple things happening. So on December 27th, I released a video that was like how to start a YouTube channel from zero. And I had released some other videos before this video that were also relevant to the same crew, right? So this everything you need to start a YouTube channel, if I were starting a YouTube channel today, and then I released this one on December 27th. I strategically released that video on December 27th because, again, January is a big month for everybody to kind of want to start their YouTube channel or to like refocus or whatever, right? So I wanted to have this out there, and that strategy definitely worked. It got 74,000 views compared to the one before it, and after it around 15 or 1,600. So that definitely worked, and that one actually went back and picked up this one and caused it to get way more views than it did when I first released it too. So we have this like 74,000, but we're still around like between 1,000 and 2,000 views per video. And then you start to see it creep up. I have this one that gets 3,000. I have this one that gets 2,400, 2,600, 2,000, 3,800, which was a lot for me. This video was the one which is all about my home office tour. So this video was the one where I noticed a lot more views came in that first like 24 hours. But again, it's January. That's normal for my channel, for a lot of people's channels. And again, I know that January is a big month where people are wanting to like start the things, like the business, the YouTube channel, the passive income, whatever. I had it on my calendar to release videos that kind of fit in that realm, and things picked up kind of quickly. So this was my home office tour. It got 3,800. And then I did this one that was my 8 income streams, how I make money as a content creator. And I actually filmed and released that video the first day I had COVID. I didn't know yet I had COVID, but I felt like crap. And I was like, I almost didn't release it. I almost was like, I feel like crap. I feel like my energy was not good. I'm not going to release this, but I did release it, and it did really, really well. So already in the first 7 days, it got 7,000 views compared to my normal, which was around 1,000. So this one was starting to do well for me. But then though, I got COVID, and I was working so on top of my content calendar at this point. Like I needed to film the same week that videos were going out that I just could not do it. I actually did not release a video for an entire 2 weeks. And then I released this one, which was the 4 best side hustles, 8 digital product ideas to make at least $100 a day, 3 passive income ideas, my advice as an entrepreneur, how to create a digital product, how to sell a digital product, how one digital product made me money, and so on and so forth. And you can see here that these videos from this 12,000 up to this 14,000, like they all did so well. And this one, 8 digital product ideas to make at least $100 a day, actually went viral. So it has 142,000 views and has only been live at the time of my recording for a month. It went viral for a couple of weeks. And so I continued to throw gas at the fire. I continued to throw videos at that I knew those same people would want to watch. And that is what caused this massive spike in my channel. Okay. But now, not that I'm going to completely stop doing like passive income or digital products, but now I've actually done a few other videos that are not really in line with that at all. So one of them was titled, You do not have to wake up at 5 a.m. to be successful. There's another one on what I spend in a week, which I did not expect to do well at all. And it didn't, like in comparison to these others, it definitely did not. But look, my baseline is so much higher now. Where I was getting 1,000 views in its first week, now I'm getting 2,300, 2,500. And so my baseline is higher. And so it's my job to kind of keep that up. So if we go back to my analytics, you can really see that in the last 90 days, my channel has taken off. And what's awesome about that is because of the way YouTube works, it knows that these videos are doing well. And so it's going to continue to show them to more and more people. And I'm going to be able to capitalize on that for months and months to come. What had really happened with my channel dying was that, well, a couple things. One, YouTube's algorithm changed. It really did. So my biggest strategy for the first 4 years of my channel was search traffic, right? Like all the search traffic. So I had a ton of videos just sitting high in search, but I truly saw a big difference in what videos were found and where things sat in search and all of this stuff when YouTube came out and said that they were no longer holding a ton of weight on tags. So that was a big shift for my channel. I actually saw that a ton of my videos dropped out of being in my top videos, even though they've been there for years. And it took me a while to kind of get my bearings on what I needed to do next, but also try and figure out a good cross point, a good strategy with, I want to be found in search, but I really want to be found in recommended, because that is where you grow. That is where you grow. Search is great. Search is awesome. Search is a thing. People are going to the YouTubes and they're searching for certain things. But if you can get your video both found in search and recommended by the algorithm, that is when you truly win. So I was kind of at this cross point where this had started happening. My videos were kind of starting to fall off. And I didn't have any newer videos like in 2021 that were being picked up. So I was kind of starting to see this massive dip. But also I was trying to figure out how to best create videos that were keyword heavy, but also were going to be shown and recommended. That YouTube themselves were going to be like, hey, this video is good. Let's show it to these people. And so I feel like I've kind of finally landed on what that looks like. And so I want to talk to you about kind of all the things that I changed. So I had created a channel that was a one and done situation. Like in and out. You know what I mean? Like it was, you find what you need on the searches, you come here, you watch the video for it, but you have no other reason to stay. You're not invested in me, my brand, the other content I put out, because I solved your problem. I had created a channel where that was what was happening. And that is just not a good long-term strategy for growth. Now, if you're just starting out, I think it's fine and it's a good thing to go after search terms because you don't really have anything else to go after, right? You don't have any authority in the platform. You don't have a lot of stuff going on. So going after search is fine, but I had built a channel that was all search. And so during 2021, I was really trying to figure out what it looked like to get away from that. But it was hurting my channel because I was kind of floundering, right? I was kind of floundering. I mean, I think I told y'all this in that my channel is dying video, but it was like teaching an old dog new tricks. I had been running my channel in a certain way for that long. And so for me to then flip it and be like, oh, I'm going to run it in this way was very hard for me to figure out and kind of navigate. I could have told somebody how to do it, but for whatever reason, because it was me, I was having a harder time. So I actually came up with 4 things that I knew that I needed to do in each video or on my channel as a whole that I knew would kind of fix the problem. And I started doing that. And that is what has led to what is going on now. So the first of those things is to really get a solid grasp on who the right person is that's watching my channel that would want to come back for every video. So I was creating one-off videos. I was creating a video that this person would like, but maybe this person wouldn't. Or this person would like, but maybe this person wouldn't. So they had no reason to subscribe and want to come back for the other videos because they weren't relevant to them. So I really sat down and thought about who is the person I want watching this channel? Who do I want to talk to? What makes the most sense? How can I make sure that I keep this person in mind always? so that when I'm planning my content, so that when I'm doing my videos, I'm talking to the right person. So they may not totally have interest in every one of my videos, but they're going to have way more interest than they did before in more of them, right? So really getting clear on who the right person that I want watching my channel is. I actually did a YouTube audit this morning for someone who purchased one, which, by the way, if you didn't know, I do YouTube audits. The link to purchase is always in my description. But I did a YouTube audit for someone this morning, and I said probably 52 times in her YouTube audit, you've got to figure out who you want watching this channel, who is going to be the person watching this channel. Because if we just think this channel is about us, if we just think this channel is about search, if we just think that the channel is about like whatever, we're never going to come to a point where like somebody wants to watch our whole channel, right? Like, who are the people? Who are they? Where are they? What are they doing? Yeah. All right. So the second point that I really focused on was to make my videos more conversational and make people want to come back. So instead of just having like point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 5, I really started trying to make my videos be more conversational and be like a chat with a friend and not as much like get in, get out, because that's not what I want. I want you to get the information you need, but I also want us to hang out and I want you to come back and I want you to want to come back, right? So if this is a conversation with a friend where I string in anecdotes and I like talk about different things and it feels super natural, and then I also am telling you about future videos I'm going to do, you're going to want to come back. So that is one of the other really big things I focused on, was making them conversational and making sure that I like explain to people why they would want to come back to the channel. Is there a video that's coming soon? Is there something else I'm going to do? Are we going to talk about this one thing for a few videos? Like making sure that people want to come back and people want to come back for me. So Peter McKinnon. I don't think I'm necessarily in Peter McKinnon's target audience. Peter teaches a lot about photography tips. He does teach videography, but he also talks about like trucks and knives and like things that I don't give two flying farts about. But Peter is an amazing storyteller, and he told a story about a truck in one of his more recent videos that when I first looked at the video, I was like, I don't care about this truck, but it's Peter, so I watch anything he does. And I literally cried in that video. Literally cried watching that video. And it was about something that I really didn't care about. But he has created such a community and such a conversational style on his channel that I want to go back and watch everything he does, even if I don't think it's super relevant to me. Like, I watched his everyday carry video the other day. It was about knives, like pocket knives. I don't carry a pocket knife. Like, I have one in my car for protection, you know, and to cut my seatbelt loose if something happens. But I don't carry a pocket knife. I don't give two flying farts about a pocket knife. But I watched it because it's him, right? And so I really wanted to like start making videos where that felt like it was the case for y'all. Now, I still don't feel like I've totally nailed this on the head at all. So if you like want to be mean to me in the comments and be like, I don't feel that way at all, that's fine. But because I don't feel like I've nailed it, but it's something that I'm trying to work towards. And in this year, really trying to work on even more than I have before. This next one is super important. And I think it's one of the biggest reasons that some of my videos started being shared and recommended and being shown by YouTube more. And that is that I have really started focusing on titles and thumbnails. And listen, I've always been pretty decent at my thumbnail game. You know, like I really have. I've spoken about thumbnails. I know the premise behind thumbnails. I could teach you thumbnails all day long. But I really started testing them, seeing what works best for my audience, seeing what words work best, and really figuring out what colors work best, and really diving into what my thumbnail strategy is. But more important than that, because thumbnails have always been something I've focused on, has been the fact that I've focused on titles. So like previous Jessica, the only job of the title was to get it found in search. Now, I've always taught it in my classes too. I've always taught and believed that there needed to be a little bit of like va-va-voom in your title, a little bit of sass, but it was always just a little bit of sass. It was never like, I really want to make this title so good that people have to click on this video, right? And so in the last few months, I have really focused on how can I make this title both have keywords that I want the video to be found for and be clickable, because that is what is going to tell YouTube, oh my gosh, like this video is being clicked a lot when it's being shown to people. Let's show it to more people. So I started massively focusing on titles and thumbnails from the direction of, is this clickable? Is this going to make people want to click? And really trying to drive up my CTR, which is my click-through rate, which is essentially how often someone clicks on my video when it's shown to them. So if it's shown to 10,000 people and 100 click, that's a click-through rate of 1%, which is terrible. So I really started focusing on thumbnails and titles to get the videos clicked on when they're shown in front of people. And I can tell you those videos that all went viral in February, the videos that I threw at the fire, which I'm going to talk about in a second, all of those videos had really intriguing titles, and I didn't focus too terribly much on keywords. Actually, let me just show you this. So if we're looking at my most recent videos here, kind of starting here with my home office tour. So home office studio tour, building a YouTube studio, I think I say in a small space. So I did that one, and that one's not super like clicky. It's more like descriptive. But then this one, like my 8 income streams, that's not search driven. How I make money as a content creator, that's not search driven. That's just intriguing, right? Yes, I'm talking about different income streams, and that might be search driven, but for the most part, this one's not search driven. This one has the keyword side hustles or best side hustles, but I added intrigue with the fact that these side hustles can help you quit your job. So I could have just titled this video that went viral, 8 digital product ideas. And it would have done okay. Odds are it probably would have done okay. But I took it a step further and added some spice, okay? 8 digital products that make at least $100 a day. Not only did I do that, but because I knew that this topic was going to be one that did well, and because it always does well on my channel, and because I still had an old video about digital products doing pretty well on my channel, I tapped into the thumbnail words that do the best for me. And that's when I put easy money or something like it on a thumbnail. I've had multiple viral videos go viral with the thumbnail that says easy money. So I knew it would work for this one. Then 3 passive income ideas to make at least $10,000 a month. Same thing, I kind of added some spice to that, right? I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years. What I need you to know, not search driven at all. Create a digital product or 2 with me. Now, this is a great example. I could have said how to create a digital product. That's more search driven. That's more keyword heavy. But I knew that this title and this topic would be more worthy of being recommended. Like, create one with me. I'll show you how it's done, right? Now, we're going to talk about this in a second, the fact that I hit on digital products a lot. I'm going to talk about that in a second because that's my 4th thing. But instead of putting how to sell digital products as the title here on this video, I spice it up. But how do you actually sell digital products? And then this one here literally isn't search driven at all. It is my personal story of how one digital product made me $700 a day, and that is what I left it at. So I really have started focusing on titles and thumbnails that perform like crazy. Now, the last thing that I did, and something that I highly encourage you to do, and I have an entire video all about this, is I really played into the trend hacking strategy that I teach in my YouTube Rockstars course, and that I do have a video about that I'll link below. So what this means is that I really have dove in to what trends are happening on the platform with my competitors, on my own channel, and really poured more fuel on the fire. A great example of this is this video here where I talk about my 8 income streams, how I make money as a content creator. I actually saw another creator do something similar, and we're not in the same niche at all, and her income streams were like 12 income streams, and she's a photographer, right? So like totally different niches, totally different things, but it did really well on her channel. So I was like, okay, if her people want to see income streams, mine are going to too. And they did. Y'all did. So that was a trend that I saw happening on someone else's channel that I decided to play into. The same thing with the digital product ideas. I saw that a video that I did a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, about digital products was doing really well still on my channel. And in the last month or so had kind of been picked up again. So I was like, okay, I need to do an updated version of this. But I also know that if I add a monetary value to it, like if I'm not just like digital product ideas, and I'm like digital product ideas that can make you X amount of dollars, it's going to do better. So I picked up on a trend that was happening on my own channel and did a newer video for it. Now, once I saw that this one started taking off, I threw fuel at the fire. So if I see a video about digital products taking off, I'm gonna do more of that. This video about digital products, 26,000 views, 15,000 views, 14,000 views, all because this one was taking off and I threw more fuel at the fire. Now, I do not want to be known as the digital product girl. I can help you with your digital products, but that's not my main purpose of this channel. My main purpose of the channel is to help you make more money in a more passive way so you can work less and live more. So that's not exclusive to digital products. I want to also teach you how to do this and how to do that and show you behind the scenes of things, right? So I don't only want to be the digital product girl. So I rode the wave, but I didn't push it. I rode it, I threw fuel at the fire, and now that big wave, that big, spike in my analytics allows me the ability to do other videos that maybe aren't in that same realm, but those same people will care about. If I know people are watching videos about digital products and creating and selling digital products, they're likely entrepreneurs or they want to be entrepreneurs. And when you get into this entrepreneurship space, you're going to start hearing in all the personal development, like, you need to wake up at 5 a.m., blah, 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 blah. And so I had it on my to-do list to film a video about not having to wake up at 5 a.m. to be successful. And this was a great time to release it because my channel was on a spike. I knew this video wasn't keyword heavy. There wasn't like a trend I was picking up on, but because my channel was spiking, I could throw other things that those same people would want to see at it, and they're going to do well too. Now, just to kind of round this out with one last thing that I started doing that I think really helped my channel, and it's also a big question I get. It's also like one of my top questions I get here on my channel. And that is that I started releasing more videos per week. People are always asking, like, how many videos should I do a week? Should I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like whatever the scenario is, right? And I always tell people to start with 1 because this is a really overwhelming process. Like, there's a lot that goes into YouTube. There's a lot that goes into creating a channel. And telling you to film 3 videos a week or whatever the scenario is going to be super overwhelming. And honestly, I have an entire team behind me and I couldn't do 3 a week. Like, I just can't in my current style that I'm filming videos. If my style was different back in the day, I could do 3 a week because I was very like 7 minutes in and out, tip, 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 go, focus only on search, go. So, but now I could not do 3 a week. 2 a week is kind of my maximum at this current moment. But all of that to say, I started releasing 2 videos per week versus the 1 per week I had been releasing before, and it drastically grew my channel. It drastically pulled me out of the basement, right? It drastically helped me see that spike in my numbers because I was automatically getting double the views. If every video gets 1,000 views in the first 7 days that they're live, I'm automatically going to get double. I don't want you to think you have to do a ton of videos to have a successful channel because there's plenty of people out there who don't. But in my current state, as someone who was trying to revive my channel to really get it back where I wanted it to be, I needed to do more than 1 video a week. And I'll continue to do that. Hopefully this showed you a good bird's eye view of what is going on with my channel now and how much it has improved in the last 7 months since I filmed that video. It didn't all happen overnight. I had to get myself in a position to do 2 videos a week. I had to really work on the pieces that I needed to focus on, but we're back, baby. We are back. And if you've made it this far in the video, I'd love for you to comment below with the words, "We've got this," because we've all got this. Oh my gosh. Whether it's a YouTube channel or an Instagram account or a business, we're all going to have lulls, and we're all going to have points where we're questioning whether or not we are doing what we should be doing. And we have got this. So comment below, we've got this, and come back every single Wednesday and Sunday for a new video that'll just tickle your fancy. If you haven't yet seen my channel is dying video, I will make sure it is popping up on the screen somewhere here so you can check that out. And until next time, bye y'all.